Here we go. It's time. Welcome aboard. This paraliminal that we're exploring today is the You Deserve It paraliminal with Lisa Nichols. Lisa is a brilliant author, a brilliant coach and speaker. She is an exceptionally talented entrepreneur and a fabulous storyteller. And one of the key ideas that she attributes to the success that she's enjoyed in her life is the concept of giving yourself a second chance. Being able, whenever you are on the path to create what it is that you desire, if you don't reach it, you get to keep going. It's the idea that if you haven't gotten there yet, it doesn't disqualify you from being able to get there. And what happens very often in the mind when we have experiences that indicate that we've failed, that we've taken missteps, that we've fallen off the path to our goals, that we've blown it. Time to give up. We should let it go. And many people at that point become cynical because the dream that was in their heart essentially is lost. And the broken-hearted idealist is the person who becomes a cynic. And when you think about the work that Lisa Nichols has brought to the world, she brings this idea of being your own best interior coach, your own best cheerleader. Now, in the work that I've done over the years, I talk about an open mind, an open heart, and an open will. That what we need in order to be able to accomplish our greatest goals and aspirations in life is to be open, to have an open will, to have a free will to be able to move forward, to go into it wholeheartedly, to have an open heart, an expansive interior landscape that will let you live into your highest expression. And at the level of your mind, the belief that you can attain what it is you set your mind upon. Not only is that essential, but also your appraisal of yourself, your identity. Who do you think you are? Do you think that you are the person who deserves that lofty goal that you have established for yourself? Now, I've always had a problem with the idea of deserving. People say, well, I deserve it. I deserve to have this. Deserving is what you have as a part of being a human being and being alive. So let's transcend a concept of deserving and really get a sense of your identity as being a person worthy of this high expression. Sometimes what happens as a result of failures and mistakes that we have made in the past, regrets, shame, embarrassment that we have had, is we talk ourselves out of going back to those situations and doing better. Instead, we just avoid them. And so our identity becomes one of, yeah, that's not me. Yeah, I can't do that. Example, maybe you had a bad experience doing art in school and somebody laughed at a picture that you drew. Well, instead of facing that kind of embarrassment in the future, it's easier to just say, yeah, I'm not an artist, and back away from something that you actually may have a desire to get really good at. Same thing could happen in music. Same thing could happen in singing. How many of you have had the experience of claiming you don't have a good voice? Oh, I couldn't carry a tune in a handbasket. And so your identity of who you are is taken away from possibility of who you can become. In other words, failures begin to define the possibility for your future. And that just doesn't make any sense. That's not how it goes. And many people develop what's called a fixed mindset. That's just who I am. Person with a growth mindset says, yeah, I haven't been able to get there quite yet, but I'm working on it and I'm getting better. Perfect example is singing. Singing requires a training of muscles. And if you don't train those muscles, it's very difficult for you to be really effective at hitting a note and sustaining that note. So if you claim, well, I can't carry a tune in a handbasket, why would you ever try to develop the skills to become better at singing? The reason I'm using that is I'm a guitar player, and I had that identity that I'll let everybody else do the singing. They'll be the front people. I had women, I had men in the bands that I was a part of, and they were always the singers. I might do an occasional backup vocal, but basically no. And when I no longer was playing in bands, I was just doing it for my own pleasure. I got something called a vocalizer, which is a pitch corrector. It allowed me to sing and have it sound really good to my own ear. I could kick a little button and I could do 2 or 3 part harmony to my own singing, which is really cool. It has this effect, this digital effect, and it helps to correct my voice pitch if it isn't quite exactly spot on. Well, that gave me so much confidence that I began singing much more. And as a result, I was able to do 45-minute presentations to groups that I was hosting, and I absolutely adored it. I overcame all of those negative self-identity, I'm not worthy, I can't do this. And so there are cases in which you have to first say, yes, I'm deserving. Yes, I am worthy. And then you can do the work to go pursue the dream that's important to you. Now, sometimes there is a dream so big that your identity, no matter how you conceive it, can't possibly bring you to imagine the success that you would hope for. And in this case, there's the ability to transcend your own personal identity and bring a spiritual identity in. In other words, it's not you, but it's the spirit in you that moves you forward. Now, in the other Paraliminal that I did with Lisa Nichols, we talk about the interior coach. The coach is a part of you that is supportive, that is always working on your behalf to have the best expression, the highest expression of you come forward. That's who a coach is. Most of us have an inner critic and haven't really quite gotten to that place where our interior landscape is one that's a cheerleader, a supporter. It helps us get up if we've fallen. It doesn't shame us. It actually is there supporting us each step of the way. That's an important interior place to get to. That is a landscape of love and support, and that's what's going to help move you forward. If that coach can only get you so far, it's really good to recognize who you really are. Who you are as a spiritual being in this human experience is a next level concept. So there is a higher intelligence. There is that spiritual presence and power that you are. And to rely on that, knowing that the deeper purpose that's written on your heart and mind is what this life is about. And so when you have a lofty goal and you know it's not going to be because you as an ego or as a personality is going to get there, but this greater presence and power has got your back and is supporting you each step of the way, to have this highest expression of your life's purpose during your lifetime. And that spiritual identity helps lift you up over any blocks or barriers that you may have. And so consider this. This is something Elisa Nichols talks about, is when you fail, you give yourself a second chance. And you actually get 1,000 second chances. So if you fail 999 times, on the 1,000th try, you get another 1,000 second chances. So you always have an opportunity to continue your journey to what matters most to you. You deserve it. And paraliminal technology is there to help you gain access to that deep, inner, relentless knowing that you are fully resourced to realize your highest good in this lifetime. Enjoy the paraliminal. And you know, if you don't have this one, listen to any paraliminal with these thoughts in mind. Enjoy a spectacular day. Peace and blessings.